Oh wait, there we go. Hello! Hello! Minish GG on first Beavers hello. You see a dwarf. When you said that, you couldn't have seen a dwarf. Hmm. Hmm. One of the things that does happen is that the cats will occasionally come and push the camera, and the camera pushes in one direction, which does point it over at me. Which like I don't like particularly care, other than like if I wanted a camera in my space, I would probably like clear my space more, you know. But yeah, no, they did do that last night. I fixed the camera before starting stream, so I'm on to you. Unless you've hacked me, I've been hacked, and my camera was actually showing me, and you were there. That could be. You never know. Watch one dwarf stream when you could watch two. It's true. You really get those hours watched, that hours watch number really up there. Just you know, actually, you could probably easily get 9 dwarf streams on a monitor. Just like a 3x3 layout. You could get you could get so much dwarf in your day. Like, wow. The content. Would it be better or worse if you had VODs? So if you had like the live stream in like the center and then VODs all around it. That might be good. That might be good if it was like during Archie week or something, so that each VOD was like to a different time. I'm excited for Async or Swim. Um Hopefully, like, I don't know if there's gonna be a big stream chat, but that'd be kind of fun to have a whole bunch of the Async or Swim streams up at once. Oh, speaking of which, Beavers. I have 2 questions for you because you're here. Question the first: where is the place? Because I know it's between like your server and Peepus's. Is there a centralized place where the chat is? I'm not sure if I'm on Peepus's Discord, but like I was looking for a place where it would be on your server, and I didn't see like a space for it. But like I would assume there's some general place so that someone if someone like wants to like put a message out. There is no space. Oh goodness. All right. Noted. I see. I see. I see. It's okay. This is fine. The organized part of my brain is going to accept this. We'll beat it into submission. It'll be okay. We're gonna live. We're gonna get through this together. The majority is usually in yours. I see. I see. It'll be okay. Also, hello, Oat. Oat, I hope you're doing well this morning. Um, I'm doing all right. I slept in a bit. I normally try and get up around 7 because that's like what time I have to get up for work. Most days. And this morning I didn't get up until 9, which was that's a lot of sleeping. It is my birthday. I am 1 year older, all at once, as they say. So I'm only actually going to be streaming for like about an hour, because then I have some birthday plans. We're gonna go. My mother's cook. They do like they always make like special meal thing, and then cakes and stuff. So we're gonna be going over there for like a lunch thing, and then after all that, I'll probably be there for like most of the day, and then we'll come back, and I'll probably stream something else. But I have not decided. I mean, like, part of me wants to stream more Noita because I've been really enjoying Noita. But part of me is like, special occasion day can do some, like, one-off stream of something. But I don't know what I would do. Like, I don't know. There's so many options. Could do, like, Rando? I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm moved for like a random Hollow Knight stream. I don't know. Thank you. Hello, Lorigan. Congratulations on birth. Yes. We did it. We managed to not only get birthed, but we also managed to not somehow die for many years. So many years. I don't know. I've been very indifferent to my birthdays for like a long time. I'm at that point where I've hit most of the like good milestones. So really I just have like less good milestones.
The old like, people milestones.
Yeah, I have old people milestones. I was told, so I've like mentioned this before, I've had lots of surgeries in my life. And after one of my last major surgeries, they were like, alright, now you're probably good until you're about 40, and at that time you're probably gonna need another big surgery. And so really every birthday I have, I'm like, dang, I'm 1 year closer to needing another surgery. That sucks. Which, I mean, is probably, like, you know, there's people that have the, like, the mentality of, oh, I'm 1 year closer to, like, dying, which isn't really my mentality. But it is a similar, those are, like, a similar, like, negative space, probably. I don't know. Being alive for another year is a good milestone. It's true. It's true. To keep it in perspective, you are also a year closer. That's also true. You 1 year closer to your last surgery. That's always true, too. You never know which surgery will be the last surgery.
Especially if you die under anesthesia.
That's true. That's true.
Let's not think about that. This is a happy day.
I'm less concerned about dying under anesthesia, because that would be, like, fine, I feel like. My concern is always the people that have that thing where it's, like, incorrectly anesthetized, so you're awake during a thing. That's one of my big fears.
That would be horrifying.
The whole being awake and not being properly numbed, but unable to move during a procedure, which is a thing that has happened to a non-zero number of people. Ooh. Oof. But, you know, we just kind of pretend that never happens so that you don't think about that either. Or you ever think about the idea that maybe you are slightly awake, but that there's something about the process that you basically, like, don't remember it? Because we know that medication effects can have, like that could be a whole thing. What if?
I mean, that's, like, Twilight surgeries, where you are technically conscious, but you don't remember the whole thing.
Yeah. So I'm like, what if that is the process, like, regularly? What if this is an unspoken rule, but, like, patients are always screaming, like what if this is a thing, if you actually become a surgeon, you learn this? But
and that's why like, so many people wash out of medical school.
What if you sign a thing that says you'll never talk about it, you'll never tell people about this reality? And that any of the, like, surgeries you could, like, watch online type thing or watch in person, they know that won't happen, something's been done. Like, oh, man. Horrifying.
Then the people who are awake or who wake up during anesthesia, it's just that the Twilight thing doesn't work on them.
Yeah. Like, that would be the worst conspiracy. Worst, like, giant conspiracy thing.
Yep.
I think it'd be fine during a procedure, as long as, yeah.
I mean, do you really want to be conscious while they mess around with you, but you cannot move?
Yeah, so that's the thing. There's a lot of procedures people get where you are awake during it. And, specifically, you are unable to feel whatever is happening in the area.
Like colonoscopies, is it?
Well, I mean, colonoscopies aren't really, like...
I guess that's not a surgery.
Yeah, that's not a surgery. No, but there's a lot of procedures there where they put, like, the cloth over you so you can't see what they're doing, but you're actually, like, cut open, but you have no feeling of that area kind of thing. That's actually fairly common because it doesn't require the same kind of same kind of like anesthesia and stuff like that. I don't know. So the real negative one would be where you can feel but can't react.
Yeah.
That would be the thing you wouldn't
That's
want
like
to happen.
night terrors stuff.
Anyway, getting out of my thoughts that I think regularly about space, let's
move
hi,
away from medical
hello,
horror
hello.
and into alchemical
Yeah.
horror.
Thank you for the birthday wishes. We're gonna play Noita. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well today. It was nice to do a sleep in. Sleep in, very good. Polymorph potion. Polymorph potion IV.
Polymorphine.
Polymorphine. God, an IV of polymorph. Would that just keep you as the same thing you transformed into, though, or do you like regularly change what you are? That's a good question. Alright, I think what we want to do is probably open up some slots. Let's put some items down that we don't need this moment. Not using you. Not using you. Put you down. Put you down. Okay. I didn't find a double. I didn't keep a double cast. I might have found one, but I didn't keep one. Put you down. We're not going to be using aiming arc right now, so let's put you down. We're definitely not going to be using glowing lance. Let's go over here. Put it over here. Okay. Anything else I can just drop for a moment? Oh, we can drop these. Boop. Boop. Alright, that's all fine. We got some slots. Honestly, if we drop all the extra stuff from this, that's fine too. Let's do that. Boop. 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 There. We've opened up a lot of slots. We don't need the regular spark bolt right now either. Probably we don't need you either. Imagine it just be the same transformation. And when the next dose sets out, it resets the timer. No. Do items despawn? No. They do not. So this is one of the things that, like, technically adds to file size. Like, if I was doing this everywhere, I think the file size gets significantly bigger because it has to keep track of each item. But they don't despawn. It's very important that items don't despawn. If they did despawn, that would be terrible.
Important for gameplay mechanic reasons that they do not despawn.
Yeah. Secret ending is file size overflow. Luckily, I don't think you'd be able to get file size overflow very easily. On account of, like, you'd have to, I don't... Like... Windows at least can hold a pretty big file size. And you don't usually, like, keep all of it open at once. Toxic sludge. Levitation? Oh? Where did this levitation come from? What did we just make? Hold on. Hold on. Where's the levitation coming from? What's making levitation? Was it the blood? Ooh. Okay, let's... Um... Let's go up here real quick. Hold on. Oh, controls are back to normal. Okay, so right now you have flummox. Nope. The flummox and the toxic sludge are coming in, but we're not getting more levitation. Is it the blood? Do we get more? Okay, there's 1% blood. Uh, it's definitely some combination of, I think, the toxic sludge and the flum. But I can't tell exactly what's happening. What if we... Not getting more. We're for the most part keeping the same amounts, so I'm like, what is different? Does it require... Hold on. You know what we don't really have? Fungus blood. Does it require the fungus blood, maybe? Here, you. Spin lightsaber looks cool. Yeah, the spinny thing was kind of discovered on accident. I like it a lot. It's currently my best way to dig too, which is kind of sad, but it's, you know, it works. Yeah. Maybe it can only be created on top layer. Oh, that's a possibility. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so you have no levitation in you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like if the blood... Okay, so there's fungus blood trapped underneath that flummox. What if we go get some toxic? Can I get some toxic from you? I got a little bit of toxic. Because I'm like, what if... What?
You didn't go attention.
I don't think we're going to be able to do this the way I wanted to. Hold on, let's get rid of this. Let's get this flummox. So we should have, like, just flummox in here. Yeah, we have a little bit of flummox. And now... Let's do this. Well, that didn't work out. I was trying to... So it seems like the flummox will prevent the blood from, like, going away. The fungal blood. I had spontaneous groceries. Excellent. Have a good groceries. Also, thank you. Thank you for Happy Name Day. Ooh. Oh. You're back from spontaneous groceries. I see, I see. Alright, we're just gonna wander around here, because, I'm not... I don't feel like we have good stuff to experiment with that right now. My current objective is actually getting more loot from the area I'm in. That's kind of why I was okay with doing some, like, short streams. I've done a couple of little short streams right now of just getting stuff. We need more things. Like... Hey, buddy. I'll try and catch some of his stuff for a bit. I basically just need, in general, a lot of more things. So, this is a good area to find things in. Looking for things in the area. Like, there's some pretty important spells that I still don't have. And I would like to find them. Oh, Can we not be on fire? Thank you. We'll go over there in a second. I fear... Ooh. Let's take this for a second, because I want this plasma beam enhancer. We'll take these for... I don't think I need sparkle trigger, but we'll keep it. I don't think I want this wand. This wand's pretty trash. Okay. But now that we have plasma beam enhancer, I'm just saying, you know, like, what if... Okay, how do I want to do this? Well, we still want this to be really fast. So ideally, I think we want something like this. Yeah, I think this will be fine. You. Okay, running out of mana too fast. You. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's fine. That's fine. There we go. Do you have a particular format layer you utilize when taking notes? So normally I kind of have like, I mean, it is per game, but my Noita notes need redone. Noita I was taking notes in back when I was just taking all of my notes as an image file. I was basically making one image file and kind of making my own canvas board, you know, like how Obsidian lets you have a canvas, except it was just happening in an image document. And the problem is that was getting so like big that it was like it was really slow to load and stuff. So eventually I'm gonna do a stream where I basically redo all my Noida notes. Probably when I get farther into this run is when I'll do that. Fascinating. Because when we get farther into this run, I'm gonna need to like update some note stuff. So we'll do it then. But not this moment. I'll never leave again. BRB. I never left again. I see. Okay, let's go put this die down. We can actually put our potion down too. We don't need the pheromone potion with us right now. Ooh. Ooh, you got a couple of things we want. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Nope. Nope, we don't want to be on fire. You're basically strictly better than my current one, except my current one does also have the thing that makes it, I don't like a lot better though. Oh, you have less slots. I don't know if I want less slots. Gosh, I want everything else about you except the fact that you have less slots. Oh, alright. Noits. Dang. Like we could sacrifice one slot. It wouldn't be the end of the world. I don't know if sacrificing a single slot is worth it, you know. You have way more mana though. Okay, we don't need more heals, so we can throw those away. Take that. I probably don't need that. Andrew, thank you for reminding me to hydrate. I will drink the last of the strawberry water that I have next to me. There we go. We have had strawberry water. Can't believe that guy just poisoned me. Come on, poison. Go away. Go away. Go away. There we go. Alright. Yeah, do make Big Tunnel. Perfect for organizing some items for a moment. Wait for a second. There we go. So now we can put you here. Terrifying. We can put you here. The crystal key I do want to leave behind, but not in here. I want to leave it somewhere else, so let's go ahead and add these back to this. There. And now let's go get... We dropped a water potion earlier that I want back. I'm not gonna drop anything else. But we want our water potion again. It's like right over here, right? I think we're close to it. Where did it go? It was in this area. This is where we're doing the flum stuff. Here? I guess we don't need our exact water potion. I just need a bottle. I need a bottle. Water potion, also known as PG. Indeed. Hi, mystery fungus. I love you. No, no, no! You asshole. That was my mystery fungus. You just... I knew that was there. We were gonna eventually collect it. I don't know if mystery fungus has any purpose. And I mean, technically we can, like, recreate it, but... So you see something like this, and this feels like it should mean something, right? Like, doesn't that, like, gold in the wall just look like it has meaning? I don't think that does have any meaning. If it does, I have zero idea what the meaning is supposed to be, but it looks like it should have meaning. Yeah, that's the thing. I would screenshot it, except the screenshot itself wouldn't really be like unless I'm noting exactly where I found it. Um, which I mean, I guess it would be like if I found it in the same spot over and over again. Like it would take multiple runs to test if that mattered. If like that location was important or something. My biggest thinking is that unless I have something, so like I take a lot of notes on stuff, but if I don't have anything that tells me why I'd want something really, really obscure, I don't know if I want to note on it necessarily. Like, because then you get kind of an issue I've run into before, especially with Noita, is just bloated notes where like nothing really has meaning because I don't look through them because there's so much stuff that doesn't have meaning. Like I need to be able to tie some very basic meaning to something usually, unless it's like at the very beginning of a game. Because at the very beginning, I'll take way more notes like that. And once I move my notes for Noita in, oh, there's my potion. Once I move my notes for Noita into Obsidian, I might be more willing to take that because with Obsidian, I can have my like unorganized notes section, which I don't really currently have. Currently, I either have a screenshots folder, which is what gets too bloated, or I have the image document, which is like too big to want to do something like that. Hmm. Plasma cross. I don't think we currently need plasma cross. I didn't mean to get rid of all the water. I meant to put some of the water in my cup. Well, fire rock. We don't need another fire rock. You got to underground jungle, but then you died. GG jungle. Jungle has some of the best, I think, like music. Like as you're casually playing and getting into it, like the jungle music, I feel like really picks up compared to the music in the previous areas. Yes, you can ask anything. If I know the answer, I'll answer. If I don't know the answer, I won't answer. And would ask that other people don't answer. Oh, there was a gold pouch here that's now RIP, but we'll take the gold, I guess. What's your question? Have you done X yet? Oh, you got me. That's, you know what? You right. You right. Let's see. Could probably do something where I make a page where I encounter new NPCs, so stuff comes with... Oh yeah, that's an idea. So, Ender, I know the one thing I don't do with Obsidian that probably would be helpful if I actually did it. I only use one canvas page. The thing that I want Obsidian for is literally that canvas page, because it does what I was already doing for notes, but better. Um, if I were like smart, um, Creeper, thank you for the follow. I hope you're doing well today. I hope that your dungeon crawler modding has been going well. Unless this is a second person with a very similar username, I assume that this is the Creeper who has been working on um, most recently. It looks like a Twitch integration mod for dungeon crawler, which um, if there ends up being a playable mod, or I've even mentioned if it needs testing, if it's not considered really playable, I will absolutely do some after work dungeon crawler with Twitch integration. That sounds great. Um, it would be probably testing to start with, so prone to failure, but that's okay. If we ignore that you're in the Sisyphus loop, it works, yeah. If you ignore the various problems that keep presenting new problems kind of thing, that'll happen. That's okay. Um, but yeah, Ender, right now, I don't use any other pages. I don't use any of the other things other than Canvas. So, but I do make like things for different characters. Like if I encounter a character like your example, then I put the character like a like a screenshot or something or like a text area of the character in the canvas, and then I make that a group, and then within that group I'll put any other information I learn about the character. So it's like pages. It's just all on one big conspiracy board because that's what I love. I think I'm very visual when it comes to notes, so I need my notes to be to support me scanning over them visually like this. I think that the most important stats are recharge time, mana recharge speed, and max mana. I would say that's probably true. So like, um, on a wand, so you have shuffle. So I mean, Tiger, I'm gonna assume you omitted the shuffle stat because it's so obvious of how important that stat is that it's not even worth saying. I'm gonna assume that was done because shuffle is probably one of the most important stats, like hands down. Uh, like shuffle is such an important stat that yeah, it's kind of wild. It's wild to me. I don't know, but that's okay. Um, if I have a good wand with shuffle, but yeah, that's the thing. So a wand without shuffle you can kind of create some very powerful wands. A wand with shuffle, you have really one note wands because if you try and do anything with them, like they don't work. So like this wand I have down here that's responsible for my like speedy kind of like circle. I could make mostly the same thing on a shuffle wand. Um, it would work better if I wasn't doing the plasma cutter. So like if I were doing this. This I could still do on a shuffle wand, and it would mostly work the same because it's going to be running through the iterations so fast that it doesn't really matter that it's not in the right order most of the time. Um, this this though actually doesn't exactly work correctly in a shuffle wand because this wand only works because I'm not casting the plasma cutter the regular way. If I were casting the plasma cutter the regular way occasionally, like on a shuffle wand, it would stop working. It would be very detrimental to the wand. Um so so yeah, that's like a very important thing. Um so yeah, shuffle is fine until you get good wands without shuffle. I guess that's what I would say. Like no wand with shuffle will ever be as good as wands without shuffle with the same like other stats kind of thing. Um Says without explaining what shuffle is. For what it's worth, I'm not going into big details. I'm not gonna, because like I don't know what information Tiger would or wouldn't want, so I don't want to go too into it. It was a question, not asking for an explanation on it all. The fact that this game reminds me of another game with the same system. Creeper, if you're not familiar with Noita, the engine of it is based on like the classic game Falling Sand. Um, which was like a programmer testing game, so it goes under a ton of different names. One of the most famous versions in modern years is called Powder Toy. Um, but that's how like it's basically if someone took that kind of game and made an entire world out of it. Element Sandbox might be another well-known one. I see. Um, Other than that, it kind of reminds me of like any game where you have like mass destruction, like if you've played Teardown or something like that, where you can destroy the whole world. Um, But then the wand system, like I don't know, there's probably other games like this. I know a lot of people say it looks like Terraria, but I don't think it probably plays like Terraria. I haven't played Terraria since Terraria was in its original beta, so I'm not a good Terraria comparer.
Out of nowhere.
Not a knower. Oh my god. Look at this. Look at this. They like sleeping face to face. I looked over and saw that they're sleeping face to face. They like never sleep. It's probably maybe they'll get used to sleeping face to face because the problem is if they sleep face to butt, then one of them wants to clean the butt of the other one. And that starts the licky licky bitey bitey game where they inevitably both run away from the beds. Oh, God. Okay, we're gonna just leave the screen here for a moment while I read chat. Um. Got pulled away by life, had something to say. A year closer to Silksong. True. We are a year closer to Silksong. Why would you lift your head up? Put your head back down and be cute, you jerk. He's like, I am being cute. Have you ever seen a cat groom their own face by licking their paw? Of course that's cute. I mean, cats do that all the time, but it's still cute. Finding I prefer wands with a high rate of fire, even if the mana is low, and just spam low cost spells. Yeah. Game has pixels. Oh my god, it's Terraria. Yeah, a lot of people compare it, I think, because it not only looks like it, but there's this idea of going deeper and stuff like that. Like in Terraria, kind of go deeper, and the boss fighting, like stuff like that. Um, I bounced off of Terraria because the way Terraria wants you to play wasn't very interesting to me, and as Terraria, to my understanding, got more like complex and in depth. Um, as basically as Terraria grew, like I liked the idea of 2D Minecraft. When Terraria very first came out and was in beta, it was kind of like 2D Minecraft. But what a lot of people liked about Terraria was like the fighting element, which wasn't in Minecraft time. It was really not a main thing. And so Terraria leaned way more into that. They were like, we'll separate the games and like lean way more into that aspect than the like mining elements. And that was less interesting to me, especially at the time. So I kind of bounced off of it. And then, to my understanding, nowadays Terraria is pretty heavily considered a wiki game, where like if you want to know what to do to progress, you're probably going to have to use a wiki. Um, Although I guess they did add a character who you can just start bringing everything to, and then that character will explain stuff about each individual item, which in theory could eventually get you to like figure stuff out, but I don't know. Um, I mentioned before, if Terraria were to ever add things like Noita, where there's like tablets or something that kind of nudge you in directions of things to do, I think I would be more interested in Terraria. Like if there was a mod that kind of hid like hints throughout the game instead of just bring every single thing to one character. Because bring every single thing to one character is, I think, a very boring way to do it. Um, the guide can at least tell you crafting material. Yeah, I think so. That's what someone mentioned because there's a few people who have mentioned that they think that watching me do like a blind Terraria playthrough would be fun. Um, and again, I don't know anything about Terraria outside of when it was in beta, since that's when I played it. um, so it's like, yeah, I think a Terraria playthrough could be interesting. I'm just less interested in it if the way I need to progress in it is to just keep bringing every single thing to one character. Like, I don't know. Like to me, that's a boring way to do it. Oh my god, it's 11:37. I'm gonna have to wrap up soon. I'm deeply reminded of it because the combat personally feels the same. The art feels the same, except for the character. And the digging aspect feels the same. And the controls are the same. The controls are actually one of the things I've heard feel pretty different. But there is a asterisk here. If you're playing on how the games really intend you to play, which is mouse and keyboard, the controls probably feel the same. Um, if you're playing on controller, I've heard that Terraria feels terrible on controller. Noita, they actually had a whole update where like one of the things the update tried to do was make playing on controller feel way better, which was weird because these games really aren't meant for controller normally. So Noita found a way to make playing on controller feel all right casually. It's definitely difficult to play Noita um, on higher levels on controller because there's a lot of tech that you could like kind of start to learn about and figure out that you benefit. I mean, you clearly benefit for being able to go like boom boom, like shoot as you see someone. Whereas in controller, you need to aim in their direction instead of like click on the enemy. Like if I see this enemy, I can click on the enemy to fire at it. But on controller, I have to aim in the direction of the enemy and hope that it's close enough to where they are. Um, but but outside of that, um, there's also like kick tech that I don't know how you'd properly do on controller. I'm not sure if you can do it. Like tablet throwing and stuff. On console, Terraria feels great on controller, but for some reason, they won't take the controller. I mean, if they found a way to make it work on console, then probably you can use like Steam, I would imagine, to rebind everything to make it work right. I mean, somebody might have even made like a Steam controller template, like a Steam controls template to use to make a match. Unless there's something that's very specifically like on a console version that you can't do otherwise. I wish more games that open exploration had like random treasure chests that grant recipes and stuff. Yeah, Lorgan, big hard to read. Um, I've said before, I think the number one thing that Noida is missing is a random chance, like for areas to have a random chance that just has like a hint book or like you can find like a random little hut sometimes that has like a goodie in it or something like if you put the goodie and you had it be like somebody's note and the note was like hey I noticed a weird quirk about this spell. um like maybe not like directly literally tell you the information, but give you like notes on how certain interactions work. um like some like phrase like that, and then maybe had a wand that had the spells in question on it, or like had the spells in a chest. Like the point is, I think instead of explicitly trial and error for a lot of spell stuff, I think they could have done something so that you could kind of teach it, because they do that for potions. There are literally like random potions that spawn side by side, like like it's a dedicated two potion spawner so that you can see how two potions mix. I've seen a few of those now. Um, if you think about something, someone already created it. You'd think that's true. It doesn't seem to actually be true a lot of times, though. If you play Terraria on stream, just have chat tell you one useful thing every time you find a gold chest. I don't know the frequency of gold chests. Also, what is one useful thing? That's an interesting idea, though. Just have chat be like a hint system. You could probably get somebody to come up with a bunch of chat. Like, you could probably create a hint sheet of some kind and then randomly pull something off of it. I don't know. I could see this working. At least it's not quest like some Zelda games. I can't think of any Zelda games where I don't like their systems, but I mean, you also have like original Zelda or Zelda 2, which, I mean, original Zelda obviously suffers from a lot of things that have been learned since then. Like friend hint systems are often more context aware than. Oh yeah, that's very true. Like That's the nice thing about playing a game with like a friend that's played the game, because they can kind of give you a nudge or something in a direction. That is very good. Anything that uses the mouse as a mouse is less viable for controller. Yeah, you have to put some effort into making that work. Um, so back to stats, Tiger. You were. I think what you said is mostly correct. Um, it depends. I think on kind of what part of the game you're on, but yeah, generally speaking, cast delay and recharge time are things you don't want to be high. The lower they are, the much better is definitely true. Um, Spread, I feel like doesn't, you didn't mention spread, and like I would agree, it doesn't usually matter too much. It can with some things you want to do. Capacity is pretty important, but it matters more the later into a game, like a run you get, because like like a wand that doesn't have enough capacity, you're not going to be able to make like more things happen with it. So I think for the spreading, I'll just adjust my. So the big thing is like if you have so if you're firing like a wand that's shooting a bunch of spark bolts, right? And you're just shooting a bunch of spark bolts forward. If you have a very low number of spread, then you're going to hit the enemy with most of those spark bolts. If you have a high number of spread, then it's going to be like a shotgun effect where the spark bolts are going all over the place and you're only hitting the enemy with some of them. So like you can't like adjust your aim too much to account for that, because the spread is how like random they are. That being said, spread can be really good if you're shooting spark bolts very quickly. You might want a higher spread so that you can kind of do like a spray and pray thing where you don't have to perfectly be aiming at someone. You just have to aim in their direction. Lots of pros and cons to stuff. Let's do that for a second. Alright, I probably should wrap up though. We got a few more items, which is good. We saw a few more ones. I do gotta get ready to leave. Ah. And like mana max is another thing that matters way more later. I feel like it doesn't really matter early game. Mana charge speed is a thing that, depending on how you're building the wand, it really matters. But you never want a low mana charge speed. Like you'll see a lot of wands here. I think I have one that's pretty bad. So this wand right here, it has a mana charge speed that's less than 100. It's only 29. That is terrible. That's like, here, we can kind of show why it's terrible. Okay, I've used this wand a whole bunch of times really fast. Look at how slowly the mana is going back up. If this were like my attack wand, this wouldn't work. Like, because if we ran out, we might not be able to cover what we're doing. The only reason this actually is working um, is because it has such a high mana max that I'm very rarely actually running out, because this is just my teleport wand. So, and I'm not teleporting all the time right now. I'm mostly teleporting like through these caverns, so I'm just doing like 1 or 2 teleports and then going off of it for a bit. But even then, like, while I'm wandering around, it's still not full. So if the mana recharge speed, the mana charge speed is like less than 100, I would be very hesitant to use that wand. The only way that's happening is if it's a wand I'm not going to be casting a whole bunch, and it's okay. That's kind of why I don't know if you've looked if you've really closely observed the stats on the two starting ones, but what you'll notice on the two starting ones, the first one you start with, the blue one, has kind of like averagey stats that seem fine usually. And the second one will have a really low cast delay and usually a really low recharge time, but it'll also have a really low mana charge speed, which makes the second one fine for like your explosive. You know, it starts with like a bomb or something, because you're probably not going to be casting the bombs in rapid succession. But like if you go to your first holy mountain, you might want to switch your starting spell onto that wand, and then you might have a really fast rapid fire like wand all of a sudden that's shooting spark bolts or something very, very quickly. But if you run out of mana, then you have a concerning situation, because now you have to wait for it to recharge. So it's scary. But yeah, that's honestly, if I don't find wands in my first area that are good, that's usually a. Oh, it broke. No. Wait, where'd my die go? Wait. What? First of all, that's really annoying that my pheromone broke. Second of all, where is my die? Excuse me? What? We left a die here. I don't understand. We left a die in this exact corner. I don't know where it could have gone. Hmm. That's very annoying to me. I wanted that die. I mean, like, we can find another one eventually, probably, but I didn't want it. Even if I'm not going to use it, I like them. I was going to collect it. That's very annoying to me. It's not, like, end of the world, just annoying. I guess that's what I get for trying to collect, like physics objects like that in this area. Like, spells and wands, you can just throw wherever. It doesn't really matter. But I guess trying to collect physics objects like a potion and a die. Oh! Hey, we finally ran out of our mana on our teleport one. You know the thing I was saying? I never ran out of mana with it, so it doesn't really matter. It matters now. I think you're an attack dude. I don't think you're a friend. Alright. We're just gonna go. Yeah, I don't think it secretly came up here. I thought I would just check in case it, like, upwarped to over here, because that would have been funny. Yeah, I don't see it. Alright. I also still need to get long distance casts so that I can teleport in here, because I love the idea of living in this little hut. Alright. We're just gonna go up here and save. Gosh, I'm a little annoyed we lost it. Like, part of me is like, we could just resume next time from where I started this stream, and then those wouldn't be gone. But on the other hand, I did find some more spells, so it's fine. I don't need them. I can find more. We've seen more pheromone before, so. And we have a healing one. I don't need pheromone anymore. What I needed pheromone for, I no longer need it for, so it's fine. It's fine. Squished emojis are the best, indeed. Alright. Well, thanks for everyone hanging out. Again, I'm probably going to stream again later this evening. I don't know what yet. I feel like, and maybe this is just like that kind of, obligation feeling. I feel like because it's like birthday day, that I should like do a special stream that I don't normally do, like a special occasion stream. But there's nothing like, I guess if it was like an anniversary kind of thing, like an anniversary, so like Torny and I anniversary, I do a co-op game with Torny, right? Um, if it was like a stream anniversary milestone thing, I would be like, oh, we should do like a crowd control or something that's chaotic fun. But like a birthday stream, I don't know. I don't have plans for something. The only thing I could think of would be like, oh, if there was like a fun Hollow Knight mod that I wanted to stream a bit of. Which, I mean, there are some Hollow Knight mods that I need to test out. None of which I'm allowed to stream though, so I probably won't be doing that. So, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Who is doing things? It's pretty early in the day. Oh yeah, math. So Kerr is doing Rain World. Kerr has been up for 11 hours. Kerr.
Don't raid Kerr. It'll only encourage him.
Encourage. Well, Kerr's also doing Rain World DLC that just came out, I guess. So. Mathulu is doing some Stardew Valley. If you want to watch some semi-blind, I think it's mostly blind Stardew Valley. Math's on day 4. He's attempting to get a perfection run. I think I'm actually gonna raid Daniel Matt, who is playing Fallout 4. But he very rarely is streaming the same time as I, because I don't normally stream this early, and I don't normally end this early when I do. So I think we'll go over there. Yeah, the Daniel Matt has been doing a blind playthrough of Fallout 4 using its survival mode with a like random chance of permadeath. So basically, he's done this in 1 or 2 games before, but basically it is permadeath. If he dies, he can be done playing the game entirely. However, it is done.
It's 4 coins.
Yes, so he's played around with the chances. So this, he has to, when he dies, he flips 4 coins. And if any of the coins come up on heads, then he's allowed to, like, resume. And I think he's restarting from the last save point. It originally was from the beginning of the day for Fallout, but he had to change that because he modded the game to make the days longer so that it would be a little more interesting for stream. So anyway, it's a neat mechanic. I think it's a good way to do it for streaming. But anyway, have a wonderful day. Take care. Thanks for hanging out. See you later.